Hi guys, this is King Voodoo. I am the new bro director for both B Crows and the Little Crows Corporation. Uh, Today we're gonna cover UI settings and chat and window positions really quickly. Feel free to rewind this video as many times as you need to get it set up, and feel free to access both Corp or the Little Crows channel in game. If you have any questions not covered in this video. Um, Leave a comment, leave a like on the video if you enjoy this, but we'll go ahead and jump right in. Really quickly, we are going to reset our windows to so that we all have a good clean starting point. So we want to go into the escape menu and we'll go to reset settings, and we'll reset just the default window positions. We don't really need to redo all of the settings. We're just going to do the window positions for today. I'm going to go over really quickly some helpful settings. This UI scaling here will give you more room on your screen. I suggest running it at 90% if you can see, if you don't have any vision problems. Remove camera shake and bobbing unless you're trying to make a video. These are not beneficial as you warp around in the system, or let's say you traveling gate to gate, you're trying to get a directional scan on something, it bobs your camera all over the place and you can't really get a good lock on the icons that are in space. Little sprites that you click on to do a lot of scanning and all. It's not the only way, but it's one way to actually zoom and pan the camera around. It will get very aggravating. Dynamic camera movement, turn this on, and then slide from about here to about midways here, and that'll give you the feel of the old Eve client. For some of you new guys, you don't know what the old Eve client is, but when they introduced this camera, the default settings didn't feel the same, and this will put you back there. Feel free to play with these sliders as you play and find what's comfortable for you. That's the most important thing. I just want you guys to understand where to find these deals. So keep that in mind as we move along. General settings, go there. We want to raise this font size here. The reason being is that, especially if we reduced our UI scaling, it'll reduce the individual font sizes. It could make them quite hard to read, so we'll just bring those back up. So like we'll get more room overall on the whole screen, but we'll go ahead and bring our text size back up so we're actually able to read and things don't become fuzzy. 2-tip delay. You don't want your 2-tip delay. You don't want your 2-tip delay too short, especially when you're working in the skills like here. I'll open my character sheet. If it'll open, it's sometimes funny. How about opening the character sheet? You could, yep, there you go. And if you look, there's a tooltip that pops up over skills, and if you set it too short, what'll happen is it'll pop up right on top, or it'll get in the way at certain points. So don't set that tooltip too short. Set it to where it's comfortable, but you got to play around with that setting to get it right. Radio menu. I'm gonna do another video about the radio menu, but you want a kind of shorter period of time because you want to functionally use the radio menu in your day-to-day operations. Now that's something you have to choose for yourself, but once you see the functionality of this radio menu, I think that a lot of guys will like it once they get used to it. Moving along, we're going to click the merge items and ships panel. Right here, what this will do is give us another place to look at our inventory. All right, so if you notice now in our station information panel, here we have our hangars, you have your ships, you have items here. Go ahead, drag that down just a little bit, and we're gonna do something to size this side of the window up. I'm gonna press Alt and the E key. Alt E will bring up people in places. It's also the magnifying glass here. And we're going to bring that up to the upper right hand corner at a smallest setting. All right, this is a good persistent window to have. There's a lot of helpful locations that are saved via the corp, and personally that this right here will help out with. And I'll show you something really quickly before we exit this video. Then I use this to kind of size up this window here, and they'll snap together. If you look, if I kind of close, it'll snap it to the same size. That we've got a nice and uniform deal. We got plenty of room to view our ship. We got plenty of room to look at some of our other tabs, our wallet, and we're going to, in future videos, I'm going to show you some good recommended spots to put all of this stuff. All right, the next thing that we need to do, that we need to make sure we do before we complete this video, is the most important thing, your local chat. This right here is not really for chatting, especially the guys in Little Crows. It's not recommended you guys have long drawn out conversations in local. We really don't want you guys taking the piss at somebody in this channel or arguing. It'll save us a lot of trouble. It's just good practice. So this right here is more of an intel tool than it is a chat window. You can chat in it. Guys put all kind of spam it when big fleets go on. We prefer that you guys don't. I personally don't prefer that you guys do. Here, go over how I got the settings to look this way. I go into here and I select compact member list. And if you see, this is the default setting, combat member list. And I can actually put a timestamp, show the timestamp on there. Generally, I will roll sometimes with it like this or a little bit smaller. It really doesn't matter. I can pull names out of here and link them in Intel really quickly just by grabbing and dropping. So moving on from there, I normally put this window on my left hand side, wherever's comfortable. You want this in your peripheral vision as you playing, as you mining, as you ratting, as you traveling to PvP. Like, this window is the most important window you have on your screen. It's more important than any other window that you have. So I normally put it on my left hand side. You can find some place, but you want it in your peripheral. You don't want it right in the center. But I normally put it here. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead in our other chat windows. We're gonna spread these out just a little bit so we got enough room to read them. We don't really need a long drawn out process, especially for our Intel channel. Our Intel channel is something that we want persistently up. And then like our public channels, this here is my public channel. That's Voodoo's Playhouse. There's several of them that we need to join, Baked Crows and a few other channels that's listed in your message of the days and your bulletins. But public channels, you could kind of maybe separate. And I'm going to show you guys one little quick tip with this. You can double click here and reduce the size of the window. And now you have access to this. It'll flash, let you know when there's some chatting in it. And you can open it up. And there's a lot of windows, and this is one way to manage having them on the screen. You do have to do this every time you log in, but it's better than an alternative and missing something that you should be getting in those channels. So going forward, this right here will give you a pretty solid base from inside the station. In our next video, we're going to cover outside the station and some of the other tips and tricks going along with our People and Places tab and our inventory and some of the chat features that we can use with some control, with some shortcuts that'll make grabbing intel out of these channels a lot easier. So thank you. We'll catch up and pick up on the next meeting, and fly safe.